Section 1. Day 0. On day 0, the impossible happens. The oceans, all of them, simply disappear. In a single silent instant, the vast blue canvas that covers over 70% of our planet's surface is gone. This is not evaporation. This is not a slow recession. It is a fundamental violation of planetary physics, a cosmic magic trick of terrifying scale. The water is not in the atmosphere, waiting to fall as a global deluge. It is not seeped into the crust. 350 quintillion gallons of salt water that defined our world have vanished. They leave behind a chasm of unimaginable size. The Earth is suddenly lighter. Its familiar blue and white marbling is replaced by a scarred, unfamiliar patchwork, brown, gray, white. The sky stays deceptively blue, now a ceiling over a world that has been fundamentally broken. The first moments are marked by a profound, eerie silence. The ceaseless roar of the surf is gone. The background hum of the planet's liquid heart is extinguished. We look in disbelief. Section 2. The first week. On day 1, the first and most immediate victims are the inhabitants of the sea. The largest extinction event in the planet's history occurs in a single moment. Trillions of living things, from the colossal blue whale to the smallest bacterium, perish instantly. Fish flop and gasp in the thick, briny mud of the seafloor before succumbing. Sharks, dolphins, before succumbing. The vibrant, intricate ecosystems of coral reefs turn to brittle, white skeletons under the unfiltered sun. The deep-sea creatures are exposed to an alien environment of light and air, their bodies unable to cope. The sound of the planet changes forever, is replaced by an eternal, profound silence. By day 3, the consequences reach the land. The planet's water cycle grinds to a halt. The existing clouds rain themselves out within a few days. Without it, the formation of new clouds ceases almost entirely. Rivers begin to dwindle. A formerly lush green valley with a major river reduced to a thin, muddy stream. Major arteries like the Amazon, the Nile, and the Mississippi slow to a trickle, their deltas now opening into vast, empty canyons instead of seas. The world is beginning to thirst. For humanity, the situation is dire. Municipal water supplies begin to fail. The social fabric begins to fray. By the end of the first week, plants start to wilt and die. A single lightning strike can now ignite an inferno that rages unchecked. The world is not just dying of thirst, it is preparing to burn. Section 3. The first year. Within 6 months, the transformation of Earth into a desert planet is nearly complete, replaced by monotonous shades of brown, ochre, gray. The great rainforests are now skeletal forests of dead and dying trees. Their canopies are gone, and their rich soils are baked into hard clay. The vast grasslands have become seas of desiccated, crumbling stalks. Fires, sparked by dry lightning or by human desperation, rage for weeks. They consume millions of square miles and cloak the sky in a persistent, smoky haze. The oceans were Earth's great thermostat. Without this moderating influence, temperature extremes become the norm. Equatorial regions become furnaces. Conversely, the poles, no longer warmed by ocean currents, begin a slow, deeper freeze. The temperature difference between day and night grows dramatically. The cessation of the water cycle brings an end to weather as we knew it, replaced by long periods of absolute drought punctuated by rare, violent storms. Any residual moisture can gather to create ferocious, dusty tempests. These are not life-giving storms, unleashing powerful winds and dry lightning, which only serve to spark more fires. By the end of the first year, human civilization is in a state of terminal decline. The structures of society dissolve under the immense pressure of universal scarcity. Small communities might survive for a time, but the overarching story is one of collapse. survival becomes a personal, daily struggle. Section 4. The First Decade. In the decade following the Great Disappearance, the very face of the Earth begins to change in profound and geological ways. The exposed ocean floor is now a new and alien continent. It is not a smooth, sandy basin. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge, the longest mountain range on the planet, now stands exposed, a jagged spine running the length of the empty Atlantic basin. The deep ocean trenches are revealed as immense, terrifying canyons, deeper and more dramatic than any canyon on land. The removal of the immense weight of the oceans has a significant effect. This phenomenon, known as isostatic rebound, ocean floors, begin to slowly rise over millennia. Conversely, the continents may settle slightly. This shifting balance puts new and unpredictable stresses on tectonic plates. Volcanic activity enters a new chaotic phase. Some volcanoes may be triggered into explosive massive eruptions. Others may fall silent. The newly exposed mid-ocean ridges now vent volcanic gases and occasional lava flows directly into the atmosphere, contributing new and potentially toxic compounds. The surface of the New World becomes dominated by vast, shimmering salt flats. They leave behind immense deposits of salt and other minerals. The wind creates corrosive, abrasive storms, poisoning the soil and making it even more difficult for any hardy, surviving plants to grow. Section 5. The First Century, an Alien Atmosphere. A century after the oceans vanished, the very air we breathe has changed. The most significant shift is the slow but steady decline in atmospheric oxygen. The oceans were home to phytoplankton. Microscopic marine algae produced at least half of the world's oxygen. Their instant annihilation dealt a catastrophic blow. On land, the widespread death of forests removed the other major source. The Earth's oxygen production has effectively ceased, and we are now living on a finite inherited supply. Every breath is a debit from an account that is no longer receiving deposits. Over decades, the percentage of oxygen drops, at first noticeable only at high altitudes. But as the years pass, the air becomes thinner everywhere. The very air becomes a slow-acting poison. The massive deer fires release enormous quantities of carbon dioxide, smoke, and soot into the atmosphere. While the initial effect is a temporary dimming of the sun, the long-term result is a fortified greenhouse effect. The gas lingers, trapping more of the sun's heat. With almost no water vapor, the sky is often a piercing, deep, and cloudless blue, a desert sky. There are no contrails, no wispy cirrus clouds, no fluffy cumulus. The air is thinner and cleaner in some ways, but it is also filled with fine dust from the exposed seabeds and soot from the great fires. The atmosphere of the new Earth is alien thin, dry, rich in carbon dioxide, and slowly but surely losing the oxygen that once made it the breath of life. Section 6. The New Earth, a world of salt and stone. After centuries, the Earth has settled into a new, harsh identity. It is a world of staggering, alien beauty, but it is a beauty born of desolation. The dominant landscapes are the former ocean floors, now vast, hyper-arid deserts, immense, flat expanses, stretching to the horizon. The world has become a geological museum, its hidden structures laid bare for no one to see. The skeletons of whales and ancient shipwrecks lie half-buried in the dust, monuments to a lost world of water. The great mountain ranges of the mid-ocean ridges are the new Himalayas. The deep ocean trenches are profound scars, chasms of permanent shadow. These trenches may become the last refuge. Life, if it endures, would be found in the extremes, in the shaded depths, or clustered around geothermal vents. The surviving life is small, hardy, and tenacious. In the salt flats, halophilic microbes may tint the ground red or purple. The remnants of human civilization are like fossils. The great coastal cities stand as empty ruins. Ports and harbors are miles inland from the edge. Inland cities are buried under shifting dunes. The story of humanity is now just another geological layer, a thin stratum of plastic, concrete, and steel. The new Earth is a planet that has moved on, leaving its most ambitious children behind. Section 7. The Final Silence. A Legacy of Blue. The final state of this waterless Earth is one of stark, silent majesty. But its vital signs have flatlined. It has become a sibling to Mars, a world of rock, dust, and thin air, defined by what it has lost. The great engine of change, water, is gone, and with it, the dynamic, ever-shifting nature of the living world. The planet's surface is now largely static. The wind is the only artist left, slowly sculpting the dunes and eroding the mountains over millennia. The memory of the oceans now exists only as a ghost in the landscape, geological markers of a bygone era. The vast, empty basins. The salt that covers these plains is the very salt of the ancient seas, a tangible residue of the planet's former lifeblood. In the stories of any who might have survived, the ocean would be a myth, a legend of a time when the world was soft, wet, and alive. Life, in its most stubborn form, might persist. Microbial communities could carve out a new existence. Over millions of years, perhaps new forms of life. They would have no concept of rain, rivers, or seas.